So the moment has come for me to answer some of your questions. You lot are absolutely mad. The amount of comments and questions is just ridiculous. So don't be offended if I don't cover all of them, and also don't be offended because you know I'm going to butcher most of your names. Over 130 replies on my pinned comment from yesterday's video. If you haven't checked out yesterday's video, be sure to do that as well. But thanks very much. Appreciate all the love on the channel I've had so far. And like I said, I'll do my best to reply to as many of these questions as I can. But there is literally over 130 of them. It's like I could sit here for 2 hours, but I haven't got that sort of time on my hands, unfortunately. Otherwise I would. But I've got my trusty iPad in my hand. So let's start off with the first question. And that is from Colin. And he says, outside of FIFA, are there any other games that you are playing at the moment? Colin, I'll be straight up, mate. I only ever play FIFA. I could download Apex Legends for nothing. Ain't interested in it. Back in the day, when I was a little bit younger, I used to play Call of Duty, Ghost Recon. I was really good at Ghost Recon. That was on the old Xbox, the older version. But yeah, on this new one, just FIFA for me. And I think they've absolutely butchered the game this year, so I haven't played it anywhere near as much as I have the last ones. But yeah, thanks for your question, mate. Johnny Guns. Lee, you always say you get a lot of abuse at work, more than you do on Twitter, which is hard to believe. What job do you have? I flog double glazing for a living. So yeah, I do get a hell of a lot more abuse offline doing my job than I do online. So online for me is a walk in the park. Next question from Akeem Hill. What are your thoughts on Wenger not giving Serge Gnabry a chance at Arsenal when he was the boss? If you was the boss, would you re-sign him? Firstly, I don't think it was so much Wenger's fault. He did play him a few times. I think it was when he went out on loan. I think it was more Tony Pulis at West Brom that butchered his English Premier League career. And let's be real, nobody was calling for Serge Gnabry to start week in, week out at Arsenal when he was out on loan or even with us. But the fact that he's taken it to unbelievable levels since he's gone to Germany, fair play to the kid. And yes, I would have him back, but it's going to cost an absolute fortune. So probably won't happen. Lee, what year did you become Wenger out? And that is from Unknown Driller. Thanks for the question, mate. It was the 8-2 at Old Trafford. That was when I was sort of teetering on the brink of it. And then when we sold Robin van Persie, that was when I decided I've had enough. So yeah, pretty much the same as most people. Favourite away day, that comes from Talons Polski. I hope I pronounced that right. Best away day, I'd say Newcastle. Because... Not because of the stadium, because you're so high up in that ground. There's literally 20 odd flights of stairs to get to the upper tier. But more so the nightlife, because we stayed up there this year. A few of us stayed up there, and it is absolutely mad. So if you've never been to Newcastle for a night out, I understand why, because it is a million miles from anywhere. But check it out. It is a wicked day out, or night out, sorry. And if Arsenal were playing, then go and watch that too. And we won this year. Last year I didn't bother going. And we lost this year. I did, and we won. Make of that what you will. Next question from Aussie Gunnar. If you could only sign 2 players in the transfer window, who would they be and why? Oh, God. If I had the unlimited funds, I'd buy Messi and Ronaldo, mate, because they're by far and away the best 2 players on the planet. But I don't know. I genuinely don't know, mate. I suppose it goes on budget. If it was an unlimited budget, Messi and Ronaldo. Next one, Adlai Irwin. What made you become an Arsenal fan? Well, believe it or not, my surname is actually Gunnar. That's legit, never been changed. So when I was growing up, it was in an era where Liverpool had sort of dominated and Man United were just coming into it. And then everyone at my schools were like Man United, Liverpool, and I was the only Arsenal fan. So yeah, basically because of my surname more than anything else. And then my first, secondary school really, that was when I started meeting more Arsenal fans because it was a bigger school, different age groups, etc. So yeah, that was good, man. Next question is from Ace, AJZ. Would you take Alexis back this summer? Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you know what? I'm going to sound quite controversial here. I actually would, because he has been the best player we've had for a long, long time in terms of getting you off your seat and the excitement and the drama. I know he was, fading out towards the end of Arsenal, but he was a joy to watch for 3 years at Arsenal. And some of the goals and passes and, he was just a joy to watch, mate. So, yeah, I would take him back. Next one from Manuel123. Best Arsenal memory? That's a great question, because there's been loads being an Arsenal fan. It's a tough one, though. I'd say, rather than best Arsenal memory, I'll give you my first real memory where I thought, you know what? Yeah, this is my club. Yeah, and that was... I was only 7 years old when we won the league at Anfield. And I remember my old man let me stay up and watch it, because it used to be on BBC back then. And my old man let me stay up and watch it. And obviously I knew how good Liverpool were from being a young age, all the Liverpool fans and all that. But when we won the league, that was when I realised, wow, yeah, this club's class. And it just grew from there. And there's been so many memories along the way, all the cup wins, league wins. So yeah, but I'd say, even the cup double in '93, that's a great memory for me, because it was unique. It had never been done. It was against Sheffield Wednesday, both finals. So yeah, they're my memories, mate. Next question, and this is from Ashan Iqbal. In your honest opinion, how many years do you think it would take for Arsenal to win the league again? Oh, mate, that's a hard question to answer, because obviously Man City are so powerful in terms of finances, along with Man United as well. And I know they're currently struggling at the moment, but they can go and spend 300 million in the summer. And right now, football is all about money. So it's going to be hard to compete with that, but not impossible. I'd say hopefully within the next 5 years, hopefully, but we shall see. Next question from Samuel Pinsey. I hope I've pronounced that properly. Who are your top 6 for this season? Put them in order. I'll go Man City champions. I think they've just got too much. Although Liverpool have done really well to push them all the way to the end. Liverpool second. I'll go Arsenal third. Man United fourth. Chelsea fifth. And the scum down the road can go sixth and take the L again. Next question. Mohammed 10. Do you think Ole being at Manchester permanently is good for the other rivals around them? I think that Emory can boss them home and away tactically. I do think that's great for us, to be honest with you, and everyone else around us, because I don't think he's all that. I think that he's gone in there and the honeymoon period's still in full flow, but I think that by Christmas he'll be sacked. So yeah, that's what I think on that. Next question, K1003944. Mate, seriously, come on, man. What sort of a handle's that? Lee, mate, how bad did it hurt in the 06 Champions League final? Do you feel we were robbed that night or deserved it more than Barcelona? Oh, mate, I still have flashbacks of them misses Thierry Henry done, man. It was like, at the time, he was so good for Arsenal. He was unbelievable for us and up there as one of the best players on the planet. But he's got to bury them chances. But I do feel that the referee mugged us off a little bit, because he could have just let the goal stand and kept Lehmann on the pitch. But after that, I thought that we got it tactically a little bit wrong. But that's just my opinion. I don't feel like we were robbed, but I feel like we should have won it. And to end it the way it ended, it hurt, man, proper. Arsenal fan 13, top 5 movies of all time. To be honest, I don't even watch films, man. I'm boring, literally. I don't really watch TV and I don't really watch films, but obviously I've never watched a film. I'd say American Gangster's got to be up there. That's a sick film. The Green Mile, that's a good film. I'm struggling after that, really. I don't really watch films, mate, so I can only give you a couple, I'm afraid. Next question. Zen, thanks for the question, mate. How much do you owe Chig? And if you don't know who Chig is, go subscribe to Guna Eagle Eye. That's my friend Chris. How much do you owe Chig for slipping up and using the previous manager's name on his channel? And how many hours of overtime will cover it? Mate, I don't know how many times I've slipped up, but I'm sure somebody's been counting it, so I'm sure I'll know at the end of the season how much money I've got to pay up. Next question is from Mohammed Namik. What is your opinion on Denis Suarez? Buy or not, as it could be a big chunk of our apparent £50 million budget? Personally, I think we'll buy him. I would buy him as well. I think he's a talented player. I think that it's not obviously going to cost a great deal of money to get him, and I think he can go up a couple of levels. In terms of the £50 million budget, firstly, I don't believe that's true. Secondly, the way it works is that transfer budgets, you don't pay necessarily up front for the player, so it's split over the contract. So if it's a 4-year contract at £10 million as a fee, then that would be split at, say, £2.5 million a year. So if we bought Suarez for 16 million quid, that could be, I don't know, what, £4 million a year. So that still leaves £46 million. So I don't know, but I would buy him. Next question is, where are we? I've got so many I could go through. Would you buy Denis permanently? Yeah, I've just covered that. Cheers, Akeem. Robert De Niro. I'm sure it ain't the real one. What type of music do you listen to? I listen to a bit of everything. I like everything. I like hip hop, R&B. I like garage. I grew up on garage. That was banging. It still sounds great today. I listen to a bit of Oasis. I used to love Oasis back in the day. Arctic Monkeys, they're cool. Drum and bass, I listen to a bit of that, and some dance music as well. So yeah, pretty much everything, mate. Next question, and that is from Nate Johnson. My hypothetical question for you, mate, is: you're Unai Emery, you can keep one teenager from our current squad next season, including loanees. Who would you pick and why? You're Unai Emery, you can keep one teenager. That's a very good question, that, mate. I would keep Smith Rowe. And I'll tell you why I'd keep Smith Rowe, because I think that he has potentially got the highest ceiling out of all of our youngsters. I do rate Guendouzi, so don't get me wrong there. I know he's obviously gone up in value this season as well, but I think that Smith Rowe's got something special about him, and I think that if we see him playing next season, obviously he's currently injured, but if we do see this kid playing next season, then we're going to see what a talent he is. So yeah, that would be the teenager that I would keep. This is a great question. Jamie Lee Price. Do you watch AFTV Fancams? And if so, who is your favourite to watch in terms of talking sense? Thanks, mate. Good question. And I'll be straight up honest. I do watch them. Not all of them. I only watch a few. And Lee Judges is the answer to that question, mate. I love listening to Lee. Just so passionate and knowledge of the game. So, yeah, Lee Judges for me, mate. Jay London, why have you made another YouTube channel? I actually thought you'd quit. I had to make another one. Long story short, because I could chat for ages about this. It was to do with signing in issues, and it was nothing to do with me not knowing my password. I asked somebody else to sign into my account for me on their laptop. They live 5 miles away from me. I asked them to sign in, and Google, in their wisdom, thought they were hacking my account. So yeah, now I can't get into that account. I can't get into the email account. Can't get into any of that, even though I know the passwords and all the backup information are correct. On the backup information, like phone number and email, it wouldn't ever send a code to either of them for some reason. So yeah, I had to set up another one. Next question, Tokyo Guna. Thank you for the question, mate. If you if you was allowed to work at Arsenal Football Club, which position would you like to be assigned? Personally, I think you'd be a great negotiator for players' contracts and fees. Do you know what? I'd love to be a football agent, mate, because that is where the big money is. Look at the size of some of these fees these transfers go through at, and the agents are creaming 20 million quid a time on some of them. So yeah, that's what I'd do, mate. Have you always lived in Milton Keynes, or are you originally a Londoner? Asked Nathan Clark. Thank you for your question. I have always lived in Milton Keynes. Family are from London originally, though. My old man's from Lewisham and my mum's from Wimbledon. So my granddad grew up in South, he was in Deptford. So yeah, my family are from London, but I'm not. I was brought up around here, mate. Next question is from, if I can find it. Lee, what would be your dream 11 for Arsenal next season with current and new players? And that is from Mizzy Miz. I'd keep Leno, I'd keep Bellerin, I'd keep Socrates, I'd get Titi, I rate him, I think he's good. Obviously Holding as well. Kolasinac I'd keep. Midfield, mate, Torreira definitely. I'd put Ndombele next to him. I think that'd be mad, that midfield. And then I would go with Laka and Alba up front, and I'd buy Lozano, definitely Lozano all day long. I'd keep Iwobi for one more season, but I'd also go and buy a left winger. Obviously Lozano can play right wing, which is why I'm picking him for the right wing. So left wing, maybe Leon Bailey. So yeah, that'd be what I'd do, mate. Let me find some more. There's so many questions here, it's just ridiculous. Literally ridiculous how many questions. Claude, thanks for your question, Claude. Lee, do you think it was right for Arsenal to reject Ancelotti last summer? Do you know what, Claude? I was a big fan of Ancelotti, and I actually thought that he should have been Arsenal manager. That was my first choice. I said it all. As soon as we knew that Wenger was going, that was my pick as manager. So 100% I would have had him. But having said that, I couldn't have believed Emery would have done so well this season. I'm like, listen, we're a mess. And for him to have steadied it so quickly, yeah, we're still not great. But would I take Ancelotti over Emery right now? I don't think I would, mate, to be honest with you. But thanks for your question, mate. Let's keep going. Let's do a few more. Puma Galvan, thanks for your question. Tell me about your football career. Which position did you play, and what advice can you give young footballers? I used to be a goal-hanging striker. Never used to like running around. A little bit like my mate Mesut. And the advice I can give is don't mess it up, because I'll be honest with you, there was kids in my school, some of them like made it to academies for Premier League clubs in the end. They don't play now, but even like, top clubs were looking at them. There was 3 kids in my class, literally my class, that all played at top class football teams in their academies. None of them actually broke through to the first team, but just got to keep grinding. If you're a youngster, yeah, and you want it enough, you got to cut out all the drama, and you got to stop all your mates trying to blag you into going out on nights out and stuff like that. So yeah, just dedication gets you to the top, man. Got another question here from Ryan Fairburn. Who are your ideal summer transfer targets? Titi definitely, and Ndombele I've mentioned as well. I don't know after that, to be honest. Lozano. There's so many players out there that we could buy, but it depends on whether we've actually got the money. I'll take Paulo Dybala in a heartbeat as well. That kid is so good, it is unreal. Next question from Peace Tembo. Would you have kept Alexi Sanchez instead of Mesut Ozil last summer when the contract negotiations were running down? I think everyone on this channel that watches it knows that yes, that would have been my choice, to keep Alexi Sanchez. So yeah. Do you think Titi is coming? And that is from Shuib Abdullahi. I hope I've pronounced your name right, mate. I'm not sure we'll get him, but I want him. Next question. South London's finest. Do you think the self-sustaining model will end up Arsenal being like Liverpool and going years and years more without winning a Premier League title? Potentially, yes. But I'll be honest with you, Liverpool, if you look at their actual net spend, they ain't spent that much money. So they're doing it sort of self-sufficiently. So it's possible you can win a title doing it that way, but it remains to be seen. Obviously, Leicester were the exception to that. Next question from Malachi Dutton. Would you have Wilfried Zaha at Arsenal? No, I wouldn't. I think he's a show pony, and I don't think he's good enough to play for a top-class team. The political one. Who do you want to replace Theresa May? I want Jose. Mate, I don't deal with politics. They're all corrupt, a lot of them, mate. Brandon and Bance. Who is your GOAT in football? That's a good question because there's so many great players I've seen, but for me, Messi all day long. He has been the best player I've ever seen in my 36 years of life. Let's do a few more. Lee, this is a great question. MSM25. Lee, if you were in a position where you must sell either Lacazette and Ozil or Aubameyang and Mustafi, who would you keep? I know exactly why you've asked it that way as well. I'd keep Lacazette and Ozil because Aubameyang's older than Lacazette. He's not as clinical in my opinion. And Mustafi is just an absolute liability. At least Ozil does turn up every now and again. Benjamin Topala, how long do you think it will take for Arsenal to win the Champions League? Mate, put the spliff down. We ain't got no hope of ever winning that. Another one saying it as well, all out. Do you think we'll win the Champions League in our lifetime? Probably not. Let's have a look at some more. What would be a successful season for Arsenal next season? And that is from Real Gutsy Red Gamer. The Gutsy Red Gamer. To be honest, just do better than we did this season. Obviously the season ain't finished yet, but as long as we progress again onto the next level again next season, then that's all we can ask for. Mohamed Herrera, I hope I've pronounced your name right as well, mate. Lee should make the Niles play next to Torreira in midfield. No, I don't think he should. I don't think he's good enough at the moment, mate. Franklin's World TV, big up, mate. Yes, Lee, you always wondered what area you grew up with, but that's not a question. Sorry, mate, but big yourself up. Let's do a few more. If you could sign any striker this summer, who would you sign? It has to be realistic and why. Cheers for your question, Steve. Striker. I don't really know. I'll be honest, we've got two bangers up front anyway. I think we need to buy wingers, Steve, rather than strikers, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know, mate. Who do you think is going to be in the top 4? And that's from Dimes HD. I've already covered that one, mate. How about Nabil Fekir to replace Ozil? That is from Young Sandwich. To be honest, I don't think we need a number 10. I said yesterday in my video, I think they're a dying breed. I think that they're sort of dying out of football, mate. I don't think that, if you look at Man City and Liverpool, they don't play with a number 10. They play with a box-to-box midfielder, which is Kevin De Bruyne at City. And people were telling me yesterday he's a number 10. Well, not really, because he does do a lot more than a number 10 does. So I don't think we need a number 10. But Fekir is a good player. Let's do some more. Let's scroll through some more here and then wrap it up. Where do you rank Titi in terms of quality? I'd say he's the next tier after Virgil van Dijk and Varane. That is from Asad Khan. Yeah, I'd go along with that, to be honest with you. I think Varane's better than him, but I still think he's quality, mate. So, yeah, I would go along with that. I don't think he's that level, but he's still a quality level. Let's do some more. How much do you think Arsenal and other Premier League clubs will be affected by Brexit? That is from Mild Temperature. To be honest, I don't think it'll make a difference to the football world, mate. I think the money that floats around in football is just ridiculous. So I can't see that being an issue. Rosinanti 27. How many players would you buy this summer realistically? Unrealistically, I'd ship out pretty much all of them, mate. But realistically, I think we should go and buy at least 5, 6 again. Obviously, we've done 5 in the summer plus a loan. I think we need to do at least the same, maybe 7 or 8. Let's look at some more questions here. For your Q&A, Lee, this is from Sam Spade. Big up, Sam. What is your take on Brexit? I've just covered that one, mate. Also, how will this affect us as fans travelling to Europe for Champions League and Europa League matches? That is a great point. Like I said, I don't think it will affect football clubs because of the money floating around, but it may well affect fans. Like I said, I don't really do politics. I don't really know the ins and outs of what's going on with it. I all think they chat rubbish to peddle their own agendas anyway and then change their mind once they get in power. So I don't know. But yeah, there could potentially be issues with passports and stuff like that. Your thoughts on Titi? I've covered that one, Jassim. So I'll do some more here. Troops or DT? Good question, Luke Farrell. Troops. He's hilarious, man. Let's do some more. Lee, I am from Toronto. I was wondering where I could get tickets to Arsenal games, as it is so hard to find them being over here. And that is from Beak Tormaining. I hope I've got that right. I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm pretty sure Canada's got a Canadian supporters club. So I'm sure, I know the Americans can do this. You can sign up to probably an Arsenal Canada membership, which means you can then purchase tickets through Arsenal website. Other than that, you're getting ripped off through StubHub and Ticketmaster and Tout. So yeah, other than that, mate, I'm not too sure. Next question. What is your favourite ever Arsenal kit? And that is from James Phillips. That is a great question as well. There's loads, mate. All the Adidas ones, the JVC ones back in the day, especially the yellow ones. But for me, the bruised banana. Next one, Space Toon. Would you be doing FIFA content on your channel? No, I won't. JJ Green, what is your setup in terms of camera and microphone and all that? Mate, I do it all off an iPhone X. But that will be changing soon. I'm going to buy myself a MacBook in the next couple of months. Let's go through some more. Let's do a couple more here. Let's do a few more. Favourite post-match interviews to watch on AFTV? Julian Banks, thanks for your question, mate. Lee Judges, like I said, love his passion. Troops, because he is hilarious, like I've said. Graham as well. Graham, I love listening to Graham. Top man as well. Always been respectful every time I've met him. Really nice guy, knows his football as well. Turkish, I listen to Turkish. I like his thoughts. But yeah, I'll be honest, Claude as well. Listen, Claude's the first one I go and watch as well. Literally the first one, unless obviously others come out before him. But if I haven't watched him on the night, the first one I go to is Claude, Lee Judges, Troops, the ones I've mentioned. So yeah, that's the ones for me. Who would you like to replace Steve Boldt? And that comes from Darren Shires. Mate, you could replace Steve Boldt because he is clueless. Lee, who would you sell if you had to? Aubameyang or Lacazette? If we could have a chance in getting Mbappe. Mate, we've got no chance of getting Mbappe, but hypothetically, I'd sell Aubameyang because he is older and Lacazette does more work off the ball. Lee, not sure anybody has asked you this, but what do you think about Harry Kane getting an MBE? What exactly has he done to deserve this? Darren Mills, good question, mate. Is the media darling? He is the English darling, and nothing can be said about him. And fluking his way to a golden boot at the World Cup ended up with him getting an MBE. All rather sad, really, but it's the closest he'll ever get to a trophy, so don't worry about it, mate. This question's from Daniel Murphy. Can Arsenal ever win the league under Kroenke? Potentially, I do think we can. Second part of the question, who is the most under and overrated player in the Premier League? Most underrated for me is Roberto Firmino. I think he's so talented, it's unreal. Doesn't get the prop that he deserves. Most overrated, well, this could be a choice between a couple, mate. There's 3 or 4 I could list. So Eden Hazard, I don't get the hype around him. Turns up when he feels like it. Mesut Ozil, exactly the same. Wilfried Zaha, overrated. So yeah, they're the ones. The third part of that question, I know it's not football related, but what do you think of the Michael Jackson saga? Mate, I don't really know, to be honest. I've got no thoughts on that at all. All I do know is I used to listen to his tunes when I was little, and they're still bang now today, to be fair. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it there. Oh, one more thing. Let me ask one more. Let me do one more. Let's find one more. Here we go. This comes from Alim Adams. What other clubs do you like outside of the Premier League? I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't really watch anything other than La Liga, but I like watching. I do like watching Barcelona. I'll be honest with you, but other than that, I don't really watch any other clubs. And one more question, because this guy's my mate, Beastly Jab 66. Thanks for your question, bruv. When did you first start doubting the previous manager? I first started doubting him when we lost 8-2 at Old Trafford. I thought, what is he doing? But after that, it was just a gradual thing. It just got progressively worse and worse and worse. So yeah, that's when, mate. And thanks for all your questions. I appreciate that. I hope I've got through as many as I can for you. And yeah, don't forget, subscribe, like and share. Thanks for all the love. Genuinely, seriously, I can't believe how many questions are on there. I didn't expect that many, and I could have carried on for another half an hour. So really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And my preview for the Newcastle game, even, I can't even speak. My Newcastle preview will be out tomorrow at 9 o'clock, there or thereabouts, depending on what other stuff I get up to during the daytime. But yeah, thanks again. Really, really appreciate all your questions. Don't forget, stick a massive thumbs up on this video as well. Until tomorrow, I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.